Good evening, guys. Ben again, back for more. So, my last episode, I did the Flash on March 15th. I presented a bullish view for gold and other metals, and I specifically zoomed in on NEM, Newmont Mining. And at the time, stock was trading at about 34, and I was looking at the 35 strike calls. They're on $1. Okay, so since then, NEM has rallied up 17% to the high. Got close to 41 handle actually. In April, 35 calls traded up to 5 and 3/4. So 475%. Not bad for 3 weeks. These are the type of setups that we talk about. So I also mentioned GDX. It's had a massive move, copper as well. Now, this the whole metal space kind of reversed recently on Friday. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, sticking with the commodity space. Okay, there's been developments in cannabis, in the cannabis field, actually, that I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about. And I know there's a lot of controversy there. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with a little joint here and there. And even so, a lot of people are more into like chewables and things that don't bother the neighbor. There are some ignorant people that think it's a dangerous drug, that you're gonna turn into this like massive drug addict. But the world is slowly coming around. I mean, thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people die from cigarettes and alcohol every year, and it's totally legal and accepted and it's fine, right? I mean, hell, more people die from taking Advil, so go figure. As far as I know, nobody has ever died from smoking too much weed. And it actually has health benefits, which is why it is more accepted for medicinal use. It's not like I'm a big weed guy myself, dabble a little bit here and there, but it's more about being open-minded and not blinded like the herd. So anyway, really, regardless of your view on that subject, I know it can be a little touchy. There could be some great longer-term trade ideas brewing and setting up. So what's been going on here? Well, on March 22nd, Germany opened up to legalization of recreational use of cannabis. Okay, so they started allowing the possession and cultivation for marijuana, but selling will still be illegal. So basically, you can grow your own plants and use it, just don't sell it. I live in California, and here it's fairly open. It's been legal since 2016. There are some weird rules in place. For example, so it's it's illegal on a federal level, which means you can't buy it here with a credit card. And also, let's say you want to fly to another state where it's also legal, you can't bring it on the plane because you're not flying through federal airspace. So there's just some things like that. Here's actually a map I have of the cannabis rules in the US. And dark green is where it is legal for recreational use. Green only for medicinal purposes, and light green still medicinal purposes, but with lower THC content. And the orange is totally legal. Okay. Now, I'm not an expert on the laws here. Okay, but the point is that legalization is underway globally. In fact, in Florida, they recently added actually the legalization potential on the ballot for November. And look, it's one of those touchy subjects that will have extreme use in both camps. So it's going to be an uphill battle, which is why this trade, theme, I would say, is a much kind of longer term than what I will typically talk about. So let's have a look, okay? See how it can benefit from a view like this. So looking at MSOS. So this can be a really volatile space, guys. And a lot of the individual stocks are trading in the lowest single digits, and it's a theme-based thing, right? So it makes more sense to apply it with an ETF rather than individual stocks. And there are a few out there, but MSOS, as I call it, is actively managed rather than just blindly following an index. And it's also focused on US-based cannabis companies only. So it's more it's a pure play on the narrative, rather. She has a market cap of $1 billion. It's the biggest one out there. And the heaviest position is currently in Green Thumb Industries, which is doing much better than the other players in the space, by the way. Additionally, they also have 17% of assets in a BlackRock liquid treasury fund, meaning they have liquid assets ready to deploy on an opportunistic basis. Okay, so it definitely gives them a little bit more leeway to operate. Now, the longer term chart isn't pretty. Stock peaked at 55 back in February of 2021 before having a pretty massive sell off, and then spent most of the last year kind of stabilizing. But if you zoom in on the daily time frame, you see it has peaked, or it kind of like pushed into the 10 handle a couple times this year, and seems to be holding. Support is around 8, but yeah, it's definitely a space that moves around. Looking at the chain, it's very liquid. It's quite liquid, and we could potentially set this up as a diagonal ratio spread. Now, this is a more speculative play, and I would definitely want to give a thesis like this more time to work itself out. Okay, so longer dated options can be more attractive here. Looking at September 11 strike or 10 strike, either one. But anyway, the 11s are trading at around $2. Okay, and MSO's last price was $9.70 when I wrote this up, and I pulled back a bit on Friday. So it's currently out of the money by $1.30. So that premium of $2 is all-time value. And what we like to do is we hedge out time value, okay, by also selling an out of the money, a further out of the money call, which shorter expiry. So the June 12 call, and sell that for $1.20. So the cost to buy, let's say you buy 20, okay, and sell 10. So you're looking at $4,200, which is the 2.1, that was the price, times 20 times the 100 multiple, minus a $1,200 credits. That's the credit you get back for selling 10. So the kind of net cost and also max risk for this play is $3,000. And this would really leave it kind of agnostic until the June expiration, meaning we don't really care so much where the thing goes. We want it to actually stay below the short strike. Okay, so we want that to expire worthless, letting us keep the full credit of $1,200. At that point, we could potentially short it again, lower our cost further, or kind of depending on how it's behaving, just leave it alone. So let's say we just leave it alone going into September. Catalyst starts kicking in, drives it up to $20. Well, our options are then worth $9, right? So it's the 20 minus 11 times the 20 contracts times the multiplier. So it's 18 grand. That would be the value of the position. Now, the overall cost was $3,000, right? So we made $15,000. Plus, it actually has unlimited potential upside. So not bad. These are the type of structures that we look at. Now, keep in mind that this is a longer term catalyst. I really don't expect this space to have a significant move anytime soon. It can also be politically charged. Okay, so got to be patient on this one. But as always, have to stay in the loop, stay in motion, see how things work out. Okay, yeah, longer term, I think that's going to be interesting. So for now, over and out. Catch you next time.